Imagine this. Humanity finally has the technology to leave Earth behind. We've discovered new planets, and we're packing up to colonize them. But here's the catch. What if these planets don't have the conditions necessary to support life? What if humans don't even care whether they can? What if our ambition is the only thing we bring to the table? Stick around to find out why humans may not even care if the planet they colonize can support life. Welcome to my channel, Alien Discovery. Now, if you're a science fiction fan, you've probably daydreamed about a future where humans are exploring space, visiting far-off worlds, and possibly even making new homes on distant planets. The idea of space colonization has been romanticized in books, movies, and even in our collective imagination. But there's something strange to consider. What if humanity doesn't really care whether the planets we colonize are capable of supporting life? What if we're more focused on the journey than the destination? Stick around to the end of this video because we're going to explore some surprising reasons why humans may overlook the importance of a planet's ability to support life, both in the science and ethics of colonization. From technology gaps to human ambition and even environmental realities, we're about to take a deep dive into a topic that could shape the future of space exploration. Humans have always been driven by the desire to expand. Whether it was early explorers venturing across the oceans or modern societies pushing boundaries on land, there's a pattern. Humans seem to want to conquer, settle, and expand, regardless of the challenges. Now, take that mindset into space. Space exploration, in a way, is an extension of this very same drive. The desire to push beyond our borders, to find new frontiers. The dream of colonizing distant planets has become the next natural step in humanity's exploration of the unknown. But here's where it gets tricky. When we talk about colonizing other planets, we're often more concerned with how than whether the planet can support human life. Look at Mars, for instance. Despite being an inhospitable desert with no breathable atmosphere, no liquid water on the surface, and extreme temperature swings, it's one of the top contenders for colonization. Why? Because it's close in terms of space travel. And that's what matters most right now. We're designing technologies like terraforming to make it habitable, but those are future dreams. The present reality is that Mars cannot sustain life as we know it. We've all heard the phrase, technology will solve it, right? Well, in space exploration, that's the prevailing attitude. From Elon Musk's plans for Mars to various space agencies discussing long-term space travel, the focus is often on technological advancement, terraforming, creating sustainable habitats, and harnessing resource sources from asteroids. But the real question is that enough? Let's talk about terraforming. The idea is simple enough: turn a barren planet into something Earth-like. But the reality? It's complicated. We're talking about altering entire ecosystems, changing atmospheres, and introducing technologies that we don't fully understand yet. The problem is, what if we get there and our technologies aren't enough? What if the planet doesn't cooperate no matter how hard we try? Here's a deeper concern: the ethical implications of colonizing a planet. When humans arrive on a new planet, we often assume that we can bend it to our will. But is that really ethical? If we can colonize a planet, does that mean we have the right to alter its environment, possibly destroying what little life might already exist? Are we so consumed by our own desire to expand that we overlook the potential consequences of disrupting ecosystems, both alien and human? Look at what we've done to Earth. We've pushed our planet's natural systems to the brink. Now, we want to replicate that on another world. Are we really any different from the past civilizations that destroyed the lands they colonized? And this brings us to an unsettling thought. Are we even ready to colonize, or are we just repeating our past mistakes on a cosmic scale? Another factor is humanity's unchecked ambition. At the heart of all this space exploration is a drive that is not always governed by caution or prudence. It's a desire for greatness, for discovery, and yes, for control. Humans don't typically wait for all the answers before acting. We tend to jump in, often without fully understanding the consequences. In a sense, colonizing a planet might be just another chapter in this long history, a history where we act first and ask questions later. Colonization is driven by the belief that we have the ability to conquer nature, to bend it to our will, and make it fit our needs. At its core, space exploration and colonization speaks to something primal within us, a deep-seated need to explore the unknown, to conquer new frontiers. Psychologically, humans are hardwired for exploration. This is the same drive that led us to the moon, and that's now pushing us toward Mars. But this instinct can sometimes overshadow practical concerns. In the same way that early explorers braved the seas without knowing what dangers lay ahead, modern humans might be doing the same thing in space. We're seeking new worlds, but we're doing so without fully understanding the impact we'll have on these worlds, or what impact these worlds will have on us. Survival, the next step in human evolution, is pushing us forward. What happens if we colonize a planet that can't sustain life? What happens if we ignore the dangers and focus too much on our ambitions? We could create self-contained bubbles of life on a planet that will never be hospitable. In a way, it's like we're becoming our own ecosystems, importing everything we need from Earth rather than living off the land. But is this sustainable? Can we truly live without knowing whether the planet itself will eventually be able to support us? And beyond the technological risks, there's another question. What about the long-term consequences of altering a planet's environment, or the dangers of exposing ourselves to alien pathogens or unknown radiation risks? What if the challenges we face in colonization end up being our downfall? So, why do humans pursue colonization with such fervor, even without ensuring that the planet can sustain life? It's the combination of ambition, technological optimism, and a desire to push boundaries. Perhaps it's part of human nature to explore the unknown, regardless of the dangers. But as we move forward with plans to colonize space, we must ask ourselves, are we truly prepared for the challenges ahead, or are we simply repeating the mistakes of the past? What happens if we colonize a planet that can't sustain life? What happens if we ignore the dangers and focus too much on our ambitions? We could create self-contained bubbles of life on a planet that will never be hospitable. In a way, it's like we're becoming our own ecosystems, importing everything we need from Earth rather than living off the land. But is this sustainable? Can we truly live without knowing whether the planet itself will eventually be able to support us? And beyond the technological risks, there's another question. What about the long-term consequences of altering a planet's environment, or the dangers of exposing ourselves to alien pathogens or unknown radiation risks? What if the challenges we face in colonization end up being our downfall? So, why do humans pursue colonization with such fervor, even without ensuring that the planet can sustain life? It's the combination of ambition, technological optimism, and a desire to push boundaries. Perhaps it's part of human nature to explore the unknown, regardless of the dangers. But as we move forward with plans to colonize space, we must ask ourselves, are we truly prepared for the challenges ahead, or are we simply repeating the mistakes of the past? Before we close, I want to leave you with this. Maybe the most important thing we can do is not just push for colonization, but also learn how to better take care of our own planet. If we can't make Earth a better place, how can we expect to succeed elsewhere? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this thought-provoking journey into humanity's ambition and space colonization, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into science, technology, and human exploration. Until next time, stay curious.